How bad can love hurt until you reach a place of murder? Hello and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the top 10 most insane love triangle murders. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell if you haven't done so already. Without further ado, let's get this party started. Number 10. Els Klottermans and a very strange love triangle. Els Klottermans, a Belgian lady who killed Els van Doren, her skydiving buddy and previous love, was the victim of a bizarre love triangle that resulted in death. The hearts of Klottermans and van Doren were won over by Marcel Summers, a charming young Dutchman who had been a member of their Zwartberg parachute club. Van Doren, 38, and Klottermans, 25, began sleeping with Sommers, 25, on a strict schedule. Klottermans slept with Sommers on Fridays and Van Doren slept with Sommers on Saturdays, and so on. However, one day, Klottermans spent the night on Sommers' sofa a week before the murder in 2006, during which time she overheard Van Doren and Sommers in the bedroom. As soon as she spotted Van Doren's parachute within her grasp, she began tampering with the release cords. Van Doren died the next week, with the three of them went skydiving together in a group. Els Klottermans was sentenced to a 30-year prison sentence and would be eligible for parole after 10 years. Number 9. Sarah Williams and Kit Walsh plotted for over a year. Sadie Hartley, a 60-year-old entrepreneur, had no clue about the furious rivalry she had sparked when she reconnected with her former boyfriend, Ian Johnston. Sarah Williams, 35, allegedly grew fascinated with Johnston after sleeping with him when he was unmarried. When he reunited with Hartley, the duo continued to contact via sexting. Williams, on the other hand, saw just one roadblock, and that was Hartley. So she enlisted Katrina Walsh, a longtime friend, to help her arrange the ideal murder. Walsh thoroughly recorded their year-long scheme to assassinate Hartley in her diary. Eventually, Williams killed Hartley with a cattle prod and 41 stabs in her house in January of 2016 after doing a dry run of the murder with phony flower delivery. Number 8. Melanie Smith burned her neighbors to death because they were happy. Melanie Smith was named the evilest woman in Britain by her adult children after she was found guilty of the murder of 5 people. As a result of her troubled love life, Smith had become envious of her upstairs neighbors, Lee Anna Shears, and her happy relationship with her boyfriend, Liam Timbrough, of whom she had become bitter and resentful. And so, hearing Shears and Timbrough having sexual relations one night infuriated Smith, who responded by setting fire to a pram Shears regularly left in the hallway. The fire claimed Shears and Timbrough's lives along with Shears' young son, nephew, and niece, who were all staying with her at the time of the fire. Smith was of course found guilty and sentenced to 30 years behind bars. Number 7. Christine Paulila helped murder her new best friends. Christine Paulila had a difficult upbringing. Her father died when she was just 2 years old, leading to her mother's drug addiction and a placement of Christine with her grandparents. Christine had alopecia, a hair loss disorder, which meant she had to wear a wig to school and was ridiculed for it. Paulila, on the other hand, befriended 2 popular students, Rachel Coloroidis and Tiffany Rowell, during her junior year at Houston's Clear Lake High School. She was even chosen most irresistible by the school body, owing to her newfound friendships. But despite their benevolence, Coloroidis and Rowell, as well as a cousin and lover, were shot and killed at point-blank range in 2003. It took a tip and 3 years to link the killings to Paulila and Chris Snyder. Investigators think Paulila was jealous of the gorgeous and popular young ladies who were meant to be her best friends, despite the fact that she has subsequently blamed her acts on Snyder, who took his own life. Number 6. Danielle William was obsessed with his roommate. Samantha Shelley Nance, a 20-year-old college student, appeared to have it all in the summer of 2009. However, everything quickly fell apart for her when she initially started meeting Nathan Shuck. Danielle William, Shuck's roommate, went into a furious rage at the brief and innocent nature of Shuck and Samantha's connection. As a former Navy pastry chef, William, who was 8 years older than Shuck, felt envious of the new lady in Shuck's life, and he became enamored, and his roommate got something strange out of it, to the point where he went to Samantha's apartment and stabbed her. Well, he was found guilty and imprisoned for 30 years. Number 5. Aaron McLean wanted to take out his own life, but took someone else's instead. Knoxville, Tennessee was inundated with controversy in 2007 due to the McLean family. Eric McLean, a husband and a father, learned that his 30-year-old wife, Erin, a student teacher, was having an affair with an 18-year-old student, Sean Powell. Outside of the McLean house, the night of the incident, Powell was in a vehicle. Even after McLean threatened Powell with a phone call to the police, the kid refused to leave the premises. murdering his wife's boyfriend, and at this time, only Powell, who had died, was the only person who could confirm this account of events. McLean was found guilty of reckless murder and faced a jail term of 2 years to 4 years. However, his lawyers secured him a probationary sentence rather than a jail sentence. Number 4. Brian Bates killed his ex-wife for dating. So, as to get a divorce from her husband, Brian Bates, Belinda Jo Bates agreed to sign a contract pledging that she would never date anyone else again after the divorce. Hence, they split in 2007 after a 10-year marriage and 2 children. Belinda Bates believed that the distance between Florida and Maine would alleviate her husband's obsession with her and his irrational contract when he traveled from Florida to Maine. And so, she got engaged after a brief affair with Michael Kemp, a former high school boyfriend who she had known since they were teenagers. But as soon as Brian discovered the truth, he rushed back to Florida where he murdered his ex-wife before shooting himself in the head. Number 3. Pedro Bravo killed his best friend over a girl. Pedro Bravo, a Miami high school student, was obsessed when he began dating Erica Freeman, his first girlfriend, but Freeman wasn't because she was relieved when she quit the relationship after 3 years of dating. She ended up going to college with Christian Aguilar, a common acquaintance of Bravo, but they began dating covertly, and Bravo was not pleased. Despite Aguilar's efforts to reach out to Bravo, who he knew was going through a rough patch, Bravo ended up drugging, strangling, and burying his old friend's body in a shallow hole in the woods after reportedly asking Siri for dump site recommendations. Eventually, hunters discovered the bones of Aguilar after he had been lost for many days. But Bravo still maintains his innocence despite his conviction and life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Number 2. Sixto Balbuena's teacher-student love affair ended very badly. Sixto Balbuena met his then-fiancée by chance while he was in his early 20s. In Arizona, he met and fell in love with Tamara Hoffman, 48, who had previously been his high school math instructor. On a Friday morning in 2009, Balbuena arrived at Hoffman's apartment at 2 a.m. with a knife after hearing weird noises. He was on leave from the Navy at the time when he saw Hoffman in bed with 17-year-old Samuel Valdivia. He became upset and began punching him. And later he admitted his involvement in the murder and confessed his guilt. Number 1. Gertrude Beneziewski tortured and killed a teen girl. Gertrude is now known for the brutal torture and death of Sylvia Likens, a 16-year-old girl in 1965. Their parents, who worked for a traveling circus, often put Liken and her younger sister in Beneziewski's care for many months. But Beneziewski's disdain for Sylvia grew during this time. Sylvia was subjected to severe physical and emotional abuse by Gertrude, who encouraged her own adolescent children as well as other youngsters in the area to participate and watch. Gertrude's scheme to blame Sylvia's death on a neighborhood gang was hatched as soon as it became evident that Sylvia was close to death. Police, on the other hand, found proof of Gertrude's long-term mistreatment of Sylvia and arrested her right away. It was discovered that Sylvia's death was caused by brain enlargement, internal brain hemorrhaging, and shock brought on by severe skin injury. And in addition, she was very malnourished. After serving barely 20 years in jail, Gertrude Beneziewski was released on parole and died in 1990. Had you ever heard of any of the murders on this list? And do you know of any that we have not mentioned? Comment below. Let's engage. Also, please leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more amazing top 10 related videos.